Alrighty, so we're gonna work on this character in front because that's the rule for inking. Whatever's in front, you start with that. Um, the idea I had here is he's being hit by this curse, so it's some kind of special effect. Um, Jack Kirby would do all kinds of crazy energy effects and things like that. One of the ones that springs to mind for me is the cosmic rays when they're hitting the Fantastic Four. Um, Oops. Very cool looking. All right, we're going to be in the ink layer. I wonder if I'm a little thick here. Um, there's one thing that happens to superheroes a lot is they get bathed in energy rays. It's just a occupational hazard that you're going to get baked at some point. And anyways, going to get cooked. So one of the things about Brillig is I want him to have that sort of delicate nose. All right. And he's going to be completely frazzled. But he's not going to be like baked like a potato. Because she even says, by the way, she goes, I can't harm you directly because you're a mere mortal, but I can curse you again and again. So in this universe, like in the Brillig universe, um, the gods cannot directly destroy mortals. They're not allowed to. They can send their followers. Like she could send, if she had any priestesses, they're all gone because um, the the memory of the bird goddess has gone away. And that's why she's so annoyed with Brillig, is because he raided her last temple, the temple dedicated to the dodo. They could send, so she even that option is not open to her, so she's got to do something herself. But within the boundaries of what she's allowed to do. And I'm leaving his mouth open like this, or just leaving this open, this negative space here. I have half a mind to do, Kirby Crackle in there and something like that. And that's where you'd see it, is inside his mouth. And then I want to do these sweeping lines. Another image that comes to mind, and I'll have to go and look it up, but I have this vague memory of Bruce Banner getting caught in the gamma ray explosion, and you can see like his clothes being blown back. Now Brillig's not wearing any clothes, so I don't want to blow his skin off or anything like that. But I am going to try and do something with some lines of force that are just blasting him back. Maybe his loincloth getting blasted back or something. He's going to have to drop that weapon probably. He's still got his forearm guards. Well, that's a good detail that maybe I'll leave on. I was just thinking about it. I've done the design for what Brillig's going to look like in bird form, and you notice that there are no forearm guards, but maybe I'll put them back on. I don't know if it'll work because I kind of want to have these kind of vestigial wing-like arms. So maybe the forearm guards just either disappear or something. I'll have to think about, well, how does that work? What's the science of it? You know, Nah, that's a bad finger. Let's do the better finger. How about that? That seems to work. I think I went a little heavy on this, but this is trying to show what's called the outer heel of the hand. This heel of the hand. You can do the thumb heel. This is the easy one. The this is like the chicken wing drumstick right here of your thumb. But this part, the other part, the part that runs from your pinky, um, I'm just now trying to figure out how to get that drawn. And I've done it a couple of times in this comic. And you're probably going, oh, you know, that guy draws all the time. Of course he's drawn those before. That's not something I've ever been good at drawing. I'm trying to get better at it. So, anyways, ah, oh, how did I fix the problem with the USB? You might be wondering. Well, wonder on. Here's how I fixed it. I unplugged the USB. I unplugged the headphones. Right, you just so. I don't have headphones on right now. The microphone is coming in through my webcam. The video is coming in through the webcam, so it's all fine. When it comes time for me to play some video games, I'll just stick the other thing back on. And everything will be all right. All right, so this is the shoulder muscle, the quadricep. I gotta figure out how to do these. You can see I tried to draw some force lines, but I might have to actually go out and like find a copy of. It's probably a fairly famous image. Bruce Banner caught in gamma explosion, and it's probably been redrawn by other artists over time. So even if some of them weren't doing the Jack Kirby version, let's rock his loincloth back there. I think I went a little too thick on it. That's all right. Ah, so we've got the new 9-volt anthology has been completed. It's being printed right now. I haven't announced the next one. We usually do a poll, and we're still going to do a poll. Um, where people can decide. I want to make sure people feel like they're engaged in what the choices are, because Monsters won, but at the end, it was 126 pages, but I would think more people would have wanted to draw some monster comics. So I'm trying to figure out how we can up our engagement on that. Shout out to JStan for Guardian, though. I think his Guardian comic came out really great. And the Muck is in there. Definitely a monster comic if there ever was one. Oh, Muck is officially Creative Commons now. CC BY. Jake decided he wanted to go Creative Commons with his dude, and chose the license, and we made sure to put that on the copyright page that it's now CC BY. So if you reader, listener of this video, felt like you wanted to draw a comic about the Muck, you could, if you want to. You might want to check out the comics we've got about the Muck, because they kind of lay out his history and the model used. I've always used a slightly different model. I like to make a more monstrous looking, I say monstrous, a less human looking Muck. I like to make him with like a big humpback. Like Jake, I know, disagrees with my version of the Muck. Like, instead of the Muck being a swamp monster with a skull head, I like to make him sort of a swamp hill with a skull in it and then arms and legs. So he's more like a starfish. He's less human looking overall. But very cool. And all right, what's happening here? Are we above or are we below? We're below her. We're I think we're going to be dead on to this leg and then above that leg. That's how you can determine where your cylinders are perspective wise. I'm probably going to get yelled at by Shell for my dropping the feet below the panel border. Um, we'll figure it out. Figure it out, bro. Also, one thing I've noticed, I haven't got enough black space in here. I'm thinking I'm either going to put a big black oval behind her or do a big black circle in the background, which would be like kind of something like that. Let me back all those out. So I got the corners will be all black. But there's got to be some big chunky black areas. That's my new standard. All right, let's take a look. I'm missing an arm at least. I think action lines will do it. Probably. Someone tells me either my head's too big or body's too small, something. I'm going to freehand this face back down to size a little bit. So that seemed to work, but it makes me think that the entire head area is too large. Yeah, there we go. All right. This arm looks like shite. Sometimes that's all it takes to ruin a shot is just realizing, oh, you made the head too big. Pretty common mistake in the frickin' age of anime. Not that I'm blaming them. It's an easy mistake to get wrong. Oh, I definitely want to show his ear. So where would his ear be? It's not there. It'd be like up here. And then, because of the way his hair is, he looks like he's got big puffy sleeves on. I know I've made some kind of terrible mistake here. What did I do wrong? Okay. Those hands look okay. When the hands are too big, I don't sweat it too much. I mean, all the good guys did too large hands. That hand is too large. Oh, there we go. We're getting somewhere. So there's a little bit of foreshortening going on here. Um, just to work out where the pelvis is. This is the wrong way to do things, by the way. Don't work out your drawing in ink after you've after you've drawn it. You've committed it to ink on the ink layer. But I'm going to anyways, just because it's even okay to get some distortion in here because of the he's being cursed. Like there's this blast of energy coming at him. All right. So let me change out some of the loincloth here. What works better? The thick end here or the thin end there, or the thick end here and the thin end there? I'm not sure. All right, let's look at what that other arm is doing and see if it seems to work out. I was looking at, I was reading somebody, and I can't remember who. Was it Jaime Hernandez? Might have been the cartoonist kayfabe where they were looking at how to draw comics the Jaime Hernandez way, but it might have been somebody else, and it was about, if you if something isn't working out right, go back to your roughs, not the um, thumbnails. Did I get it right? But definitely not the pencils, not the thumbnails, but the roughs. I think that's what it was. Might not have been him. All right, let's see what we got. Let me try some different effects on here. Like I might throw a layer over on the top and try and, you know, some of the things we could do. We could white out his face and do sort of a Human Torch thing where he's being, cosmically disassembled or something like that. Um, so we probably have a lot of options. We definitely know the light is going to be coming from this side because that's the side of the blast. And speaking of light and shadow, and I one of the videos where I've had to cut the sound off, I was trying to talk about this, but I've really been getting into Kubert's Tarzan, which is his 1970, I think it's 1972 Tarzan, which I don't really understand the numbering scheme because I think it begins on issue 210. Like that's where it starts. Um, And it's great. And there's 3 volumes of it. I have the first 2 volumes. I've read the first one. I'm on the second one. Um, and the first one is just like the origin of Tarzan. So they go over that. And everyone pretty much knows the origin of Tarzan, that he's abandoned. Um, well, not exactly abandoned. His parents end up stranded in the jungle. They're actually um, stranded there by some mutineering pirates, but one of them takes a liking to the Greystokes, and so Lord and Lady Greystoke are marooned in Africa, and she's pregnant. She gives birth to young Lord Greystoke. And the apes, there's something that happens with the apes where, um, well, basically Tarzan's father gets killed. No, the Tarzan's mother dies giving birth, and then the father gets killed by apes who also steal the baby after one of the baby apes is killed. So they end up raising Tarzan as an ape, and that's the origin. And Kubert does an amazing job on it. But one of the things I was really into is, first of all, these are comics the way I remember. Like the '70s and the '80s was really my era. Um, and I would say especially the '70s. Although the '80s is kind of when I was buying comics new. I was collecting comics, and the comics that you could collect were from the '70s. They were, only about 10 years old, and they were all available. They were beloved things. So I had a lot of Tarzan, actually. I had um, the Marvel Tarzan, which was Roy Thomas. I didn't have the Joe Kubert Tarzan, but to me, it fit into all of the barbarian stuff. To me, it was all like a barbarian was a character that ran around in a loincloth, right? So that's definitely Brillig here. But the idea was, you know, Conan, okay, was a barbarian. King Kull, or Kull the Conqueror, I had almost all the Kull the Conquerors, was a barbarian. There was a character named Thongor the Barbarian who was um, pretty awesome as well, that was in Creatures on the Loose. And then there was Kazar, who is a Tarzan knockoff, and that was, to me, a barbarian. There was the Warlord. We didn't get many DC comics where I was from. Um, I'm getting a message from Bishop. I'm helping him with his comic. Let's take a look real quick. He said, the arm that he's flexing looks a bit messed up. Is it too long? Yes, but it's an easy fix. Here, let's do this. Let's help Bishop. Save, right? So now we've saved a version of that picture. Okay. Let's do this. I need to do. Let's do this. Select shit. You're probably wondering what the heck is he doing? Duplicate. Okay. We'll take this other duplicated one. We're gonna clear it. And what's this? Clear the drawing guide. We want to paste and no, insert a photo. Here's the photo he just got. Let's make it take up the whole space. Looking good. There's no perspective lines on him, so we want him to be in perspective somewhere. He's really just asking one thing, though. He's saying, is it too long? And the answer is yes. Whoops. Here's how we would fix it. By the way, I'm having the exact same problem um, with Brillig there. And the way to do it is just put it in front there. You get the right size. But what I want to show also, I want to put another layer on top. And we'll make this one purple. That's right. Perspective. All right, so we're just going to show them. You might even show like a action lines over here. Well, that's too much for him. He's got the thumb on the wrong side. Let's see. Paste this in. Copy canvas. Send it back to him in a message. See what he thinks. It's slightly too long. See my fix. Also, consider perspective. You've got 90% of the way, 90% of the way there. And hopefully he feels that's helpful. We're hoping. Okay. Yeah. All I did was I changed his lines. See how he's got straight across lines to slightly curved, and that puts you at lower perspective. By changing contour lines to slightly bowed, it puts your viewpoint at a cooler angle. Show the ceiling. Here we go. Let's see what he comes up with. Bishop's doing really good. He's figuring stuff out on his own. It's always cool to help a bro out. And if he doesn't want to use my corrections, he doesn't have to, of course. That's what you get in the Cuber class, by the way. You submit your stuff, and then the teacher looks at it and goes, "You should have gone here, or try this over here, or try this over there." It's the most helpful thing in the world. So I highly recommend Kubert narrative art. And if they do narrative art too, definitely take that. Um, you get you get humbled pretty quickly, because not only is the teacher usually a total badass, like Gio Valletta is really good. Um, some of the students in the class are going to be better than you. It's just the reality of life, and you probably will be better than a few students in the class too. But some of them are just going to just wreck you. They're going to be like just doing amazing stuff. There was this dude named Tiago that is from, I believe, Brazil. I don't know. And he drew the most amazing We had to do a Batman origin. Everybody knows the Batman origin. And so the idea was, draw your version of the Batman origin. And they gave you like as many pages as you wanted to do it, but usually 3 or 4 is where you want to go. If you could do it in 2. And I've got my version of it up on Instagram. And I've got my original version after it was corrected in class. I got another version of it that was really, I think, really good. Um, I learned a lot in that class. Geo is definitely one of my favorite instructors. Let's see, Tom Mandrake, Gio Valletta, Fernando Ruiz. Definitely some of the greatest instructors at Cubert. They had a summer program where you could take lessons, and it would be like Lee Weeks would be part of the team. Oh man, I would have jumped at that. There's no way I could do it because it was in Florida and you had to take like a month off or something. It's like, man, I'm still working. There's no way. Oh, speaking of stupid perspective, why did I just do the contours opposite of where they are? That's where they should be. And her feet are too small. I wonder if they're, when I look at them now, I think that's about right. I wanted, this heel is not right. Is she supposed to have a sort of a heel looking kind of thing? You want to give your female characters kind of a sexy outfit. All right, how about that? I'm suddenly blanking on what Quetzal's costume looks like. Okay, there she is. It's just boots. Okay, and she has sort of this panty thing going on. All right, that's fine. We'll go with it. We'll stick with it. I think if we colored her, she'd be like a Silver Surfer. Like her whole form would be, um, I'd probably do her in silver or maybe like a light cerulean blue or something like that. Okay. One of my influences for this character, for this bird goddess character, is the Sumerian death goddess. I think it's the Sumerian death goddess. It's a Kirby character. Maybe she's a sea goddess? Let me see if I can find her. Kirby. Well, I should probably look her up over here so you can see it too. Um, Kirby Sumerian goddess. Let's write Jack Kirby. She's this tall green character. That's I think she's underwater. And she was definitely on my mind. It is her. It is her. She's called the Witch Queen of Ancient Sumeria. Let's see if I can find her. Isn't that cool? Amazing. She has this incredible headdress thing, and she's underwater. The Witch Queen of Ancient Sumeria. And it's from some kind of, like, throwaway story. Um, let's see if I can find Witch Queen of Ancient Sumeria. And I think Paul Dini did a version of this character. Didn't somebody do like a tribute drawing to it? And it was like the tribute drawing is even better because there's so much more to it. Oh my gosh. I don't know where it is. Well, suffice it to say, the Witch Queen of Ancient Sumeria was the inspiration for this character. And well, we're gonna get back to where we were. I don't have enough stuff on her. I mean, she's got a feathered cape and she's got a feathered headdress because she's the Bird Queen. And I don't know. It goes along with my dodo plot. I've been thinking about um, Brillig, and the idea here is that he's dumb, and I'm thinking maybe he's not really dumb. He's kind of a wise cracking character. He's not exactly worldly, but he's not exactly dumb. I don't think we could call him dumb. So putting him in the dodo form is kind of a way to humble him a little bit. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to do the full eyes. There is a very distinctive thing I'm doing with the eyes, and that is on the outside of the eyes. I'm doing kind of a Spider-Man thing, like this sort of outer edge. It's very distinctive. I want to have like later on in the comic in the story, if we have it where she's watching, or maybe she's observing events secretly, to have her eyes be so distinctive that, like, if you saw a character looking at Brillig mysteriously from across the room and then her eyes change to these shapes, we want the reader to instantly know, aha, that was secretly Quetzal, the bird goddess. um and that's the power of symbol, the power of shape and cartoon language. If you use a distinctive enough symbol, suddenly everybody knows what it means. That's why the Joker is such a great villain. But not just the Joker. If there's a crime and somebody leaves an umbrella behind, we know it's the Penguin, right? That's the power of symbol. Whoops. Oh, I had this idea about maybe doing these ovals. in there, maybe? I might erase them, but let's take a look what they look like. I think in true 70s form, I think it'd be okay to show him almost like he's on fire. You had a really distinctive eye attack was Darkseid. He always had that real geometric looking, right? If you saw a character mysteriously out of nowhere get zapped with, you know, that, you knew it was Darkseid. It was just automatic. You just figured it out. It's got to be Darkseid. So same concept here. So we kind of see what's happening. Okay. And also, does it go without saying that she's able to grow much bigger than him? We're able to see her, she's a goddess. She can do some things still, even though she's been reduced to demigoddess. Um, I even have her as just a head at the end. And then she has kind of a more mortal looking form, normal sized. Right. All right. We're getting somewhere. Okay, this has been a long video already, and I'm getting tired. I'm going to go off and, what is it, 8:30? Watch some Breaking Bad, do some more inking. Please like, follow, and subscribe. There will be more Brillig getting done. I have the full, I'm going to call it the full story done. The first story, it's the first chapter. I've got it Next Stop Wonderland. And this is a great panel, by the way. And then I'm either going to go back to that one or I'm going to shift gears and focus back into Tarzan. I want to do a Tarzan story. Um, I have this recurring vision of this story that I want to do where Prometheus Powers once again, second time, confronts his uncle Stardust. Um, and Isolt is also going to be in that one, but I've got Isolt crossing over with Rabbit Fighter. So I want to do that story. I've got like 9 stories, like all in my mind that are competing. They're trying to get my attention. So, um, but I think the next one will probably be Tarzan, and then we'll get back into Brillig. So, all right, please like, follow, and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.